Hey, what's up my friends? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor and I help people navigate through their ascension process. So I saw a comment today, someone said, hey Vic, got any ascension hacks, man? Anything to kind of make this process easier? So, come to the right place. I happen to have a lot of them. So today I'm going to share with you 3 ascension hacks, basically little things I've learned through experience that if I would have known earlier on, I could have spared myself a lot of anguish and perhaps sped things along in a more efficient and effective way. So that is the purpose of this video, and I hope they help you. So number 1 is to ignore, in most cases, the symptoms and the phenomena. I remember every single twitch or unusual physical symptom I would experience, every energy rush, every flash of orb that would appear in my vision, every time I had ringing in my ears, every strange dream when I would seem to travel to other realms, like it was a whole thing, not just a dream, but I went somewhere. There, I could go on for days. I would try to dissect every single one of them. I would try to Google, what does this mean? Why did this happen? What is the deal? And I would drive myself crazy. I would run around in circles in my mind, trying and fretting and ruminating and concerning about every unusual thing. If I could go back and talk to my younger self, I'd say chill out about it, ignore it, don't waste your time. It's just one of the many fluctuating effects of you tuning into higher frequencies, and to expect a wide range of fluctuating symptoms that come and go. So ignore them, don't worry about them, they're normal. I know that's hard for you to understand maybe because you don't know anybody who is going through this, but maybe if you trust me, take my word on this. I hear from people all the time. I hear from hundreds of people every day, and a lot of the stuff that you might feel is kind of unusual, it's quite normal to people who are going through this process. Number 2 is to find your one thing. There's a book I read, I don't know, maybe a year ago. It's called The One Thing, real popular book. And it's actually, as I talk about it, it's not actually an accurate representation of the message I'm trying to get across. It kind of means something else. So ignore that. Find your one thing. The idea of having a one thing used to drive me crazy because I didn't know what that was. I had a sense of purpose, but I wasn't aware of what it was. What is my one thing? I would think, I have a lot of things. There's many things I love and enjoy, but I could never find that damn one thing. So I wrote off the whole one thing premise for quite a while, but deep down, I still had this like calling, this I don't know, this unfulfilled longing of my soul that was becoming more just louder, more demanding, and it sort of compelled me to pursue this one thing. And in retrospect, I realize now that though I have a lot of things I enjoy, a lot of talents, a lot of things I'm quite good at, there's one thing I'm awesome at. And I found it, and I do it, and it's changed my life forever. And that's not even so much YouTube, it's just something very simple. It's expressing internal processes in a way that people can assimilate and benefit from. I'm able to put into words this dynamic, unusual process we're going through and share my experiences in a way that is helpful to people. And I love to do it. I love talking about it. I love sharing. I love all the other stuff I have to do that makes me better at it, like reading and meditating and exercise and eating healthy and just trying to push myself outside my boundaries, go and try to do new experiences, even though they're a little bit unnerving at times, most of the time. But I do it all because it helps me do this one thing better. And this one thing is called, it's given me freedom, financial freedom. It's given me freedom of my time. It's given me joy. It's given me purpose. It's given me satisfaction. And it has changed my life. I now know my awakening has been leading to me to this one thing. And now that I found it, my life has never been the same. And again, don't be dissuaded because you might be frustrated because you've yet to find it. It was not easy to find it. It took a lot of trial and error to find it. But if I could go back, I would have had that mission more at the forefront earlier on And I believe I could have spared myself a lot of the stress and like life problems I caused because I ignored the calling to my one thing. Number 3, and this is not easy for any of us, I sympathize, but it's don't play the victim ever. Never. I don't care if someone right now comes up to me and for no reason at all just punches me in the face. Even though I'll be angry, I'll react probably bust out some moves on them, honestly. No, I'm just kidding. But I would go home and ask myself why I attracted that into my life. I would ask myself how I could benefit from that, how I can learn from that, and therefore I would extract a positive meaning and effect from that one thing. A lot of times it really does feel like life is screwing us over. In fact, the awakening will really cause that to seem to be the case often, where it just seems like no matter what you do, no matter where you turn, what you try, you're just having like the worst luck in every direction, and you feel stuck. You have this combination of what you really want, how you really want your life to be, and then yet you look around and there's all these blocks, there's all these obstacles that seem so solid and unwavering. And this is so frustrating. I'm getting frustrated. No, not really. But it can be very, very frustrating. And it can, this usually leads to ruminating, complaining mentally, or even out loud to people. And all that does is solidify your stuckness. Now again, I know this is not easy, but I would say as quickly as possible, move on and think proactively of potential solutions, because the energy will go where you focus it. When you focus on how sucky life is, then life gets even more sucky. When you focus on trying to think positive and not even always having good thoughts, I'm saying like more like not think positive, but act positive. Sit down with a pen and paper and say, how can I work this out? Here's my situation. What can I do about it? Let's think about this. And then you set yourself up to receive ideas to help you. And again, I sympathize. This sounds so simple. A tip that helps me with this is I read a lot of books and just resonate with a lot of books that are about people who have overcome extreme adversity. Like for example, there's a book, and I'll probably do another video on some of these books, honestly. They've been so impactful, like A Man's Search for Meaning. It's about a guy who lived through the Holocaust. He was a psychologist, and he lived through the Nazi death camp and eventually made it out. And just talks about his mindset and how he dealt with it. I just read a book recently by Reuben Hurricane Carter. He was a famous boxer that was thrown in jail for crimes he didn't commit. He spent decades in jail, and it's so touching. I feel like chills thinking about this guy, because it was like the 50s or so, where it was like the climate was there's a lot of racism still very present. He was a black man. He was basically a product of that injustice that still occurs to a lesser degree. But at the time anyway, he was thrown in jail essentially because he was black and he was a threat. Anyway, he got into jail and he went purposely into the solitary confinement right off the bat. They told him to take off his clothes and put on the regular like jailhouse type clothes, and he said no, because he refused to think of himself as a prisoner. He would stay up all night. He would not do anything. He would not do anything that gave him pleasure. He protected himself in the way that he didn't allow himself to want things. So therefore, there was nothing they could take away from him. So he essentially became a free man in jail, in a very horrific jail type of a prison-like experience. And he eventually used that passion and drive and like discipline to teach himself how to get out. He studied voraciously about the law, and eventually dissected his case to such a degree, and even after so many failed attempts, so many seemingly hopeless situations, he eventually got himself out. So if he can do that, I can quit this job and go do what I love on YouTube. You know? So that's my, he didn't allow himself to have that victim mentality. He insisted on pursuing solutions to his dilemmas, and he insisted on accomplishing his goals and getting what he wanted out of life, and he was successful. And he had it a million times harder than me anyway. So that gives me hope. That always would give me inspiration. So I hope that helps you guys. Hope those hacks help you. I'll probably do another video about this at some point, but until then, have an amazing day. Thank you for everything, all the love and the support and the kindness. I'm glad you're enjoying Balboa Park. I'm here yet again. It's a beautiful place. And I'll see you soon. Peace.